Okay, so now you've kind of got most of the text or the text in place. The second part is to start to think about some other elements. It looks okay as it is, but if we look at some examples of work, Raygun Magazine, we can see that there are sometimes shapes involved. There are also kind of symbols, shapes, blocks, rectangles here. We can see that there's kind of paint and things drawn on, scratched in. So we want to kind of create that more of that, and you can see these symbols here as well. We want to create that kind of indie, kind of grungy, kind of rock kind of look. So the first element we're going to use a kind of hand-drawn line. Obviously we're doing this on the computer, but and obviously it'd be nice to do some hand-generated stuff. If you wanted to, if you've got a printer, you could obviously print out these photos and you could draw and you could write on the photos with real pen, and then you could take a photograph of them or scan them back in. So you could actually do this for real. If you wanted to use some paint, if you wanted to cut them up and rip them up and do that, that'd be fantastic. For this kind of effect on kind of this cover there, the Oasis cover, or with the effect of things being ripped and torn. You could do that if you wanted to, and then rescan them in or take a photograph. That's perfectly okay. But if you want to do it all in the computer, you can as well. So obviously to make that line, insert, shape, and we're going to go to the freehand line tool, or scribble as it's called, and the little pen, and that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to scribble. So I'm going to kind of scribble over the face, and we can remanipulate this later. Yeah, I like that. That's okay. I'm not going to use the blue line. I'm going to use a white line. Now the reason for that is because if it goes off the edge of the page, then you can't see it. And it kind of shows up over the black and my face, and it's not too it's not too imposive. It doesn't impose too much on the image. You could stretch it if you wanted to. You could flatten it out, but I'm going to put it over my mouth there. Yeah, I like that kind of position there, where it's kind of coming out of my mouth. You can put it over the eyes, you could put it in the corner, you can put it wherever you like. Doesn't really matter. Again, we're just experimenting and playing around with this. Some other elements. So we've got a shape here, which I'm also going to use as well. To get that shape in is again insert, shapes, and it was this star here, 7-point star. When you draw it, if you hold down shift and draw it, you get a perfectly symmetrical shape, and then you can see that what you do with that yellow handle circle, I'm going to pull it. You could do a bigger star, but I quite like the shape of this very pointed star, and then I'm going to fill it in white, and then no outline. In fact, there's no fill, so I'm going to fill it in white. There we go. And again, I'm going to use that again. You could change the size of it. Hold down the shift when you do that, otherwise you'll squash it. So hold down the shift when you do it. I don't want it to stand out too much, so I'm not going to put it on the black background there. There's a lot going on there already, so I'm going to kind of put it up here. I'm not going to put it on my eye or anything like that. I'm not going to make it look like it's kind of coming out my eye. It's not. The purpose of it isn't for that. You could have it going over the text. You could have it, if I right click on my text and bring to front, you could have it going on some of the text and underneath the other. I quite like that. Cool. Okay. I'm just going to check what it looks like where. So select my text, right click, bring to front. Is it better behind or in front? I think it's better in front actually. So text is in front of that star. And some other elements, I've got some rectangles here, which kind of look like they're kind of like magic tape, which is like kind of see-through tape you use to kind of stick down. Designers use to stick down things sometimes. So yeah, I'm actually put that kind of over the eye there. I'll show you the way I've created that. Is again, insert shape, rectangle, draw the shape you want, double click on it. We're going to go to shape fill, and then more fill colors, and then the transparency. Unfortunately, you can't see what happens to the transparency while you do that. I'm going to get rid of the line. Try to have no outlines. Okay, don't have an outline on any shapes. I quite like the blue actually. That works quite well. I'm going to put the one over the eye. I quite like it over the top of the text as well. I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to use another one, but instead of drawing another one, I'm just going to copy and paste that. I'm just going to bring it back the other way. Again, it's pretty random the way I'm doing this, but I'm not just putting it anywhere. I am trying to balance the image. So there's a shape here, and shape here. They're all kind of within the kind of oval of my face. I'm happy with that, and that's it. I mean, that's enough. I think you shouldn't go too crazy, otherwise the cover's going to it's going to just become too too busy, too full. Although one of the last image I'm going to use are these plus signs. So all I've done here is to basically type out plus signs. So insert text box, create a text box, and then shift and the plus key, grab the text box, and then just go up with that. And again, whatever comes out really, I quite like that, the way that they go on to the next line, but I want to make it slightly more random. I think maybe there's too many. I think I'm quite happy with just a few of them in there. So there you go. So that's my first cover. So I'm not spending a lot of time rearranging things and messing about with things. I have got some composition in mind when I'm putting this together, but everything isn't centered, everything isn't justified left, everything isn't justified right. There's no patterns really. It's a bit random, and obviously, this is the kind of thing that you're aiming for. And I think that I've, in the two covers that I've created, you can see that obviously in this version, the word Raygun is split into R-A-Y-G and U-N. Still readable, Raygun. And that's covered, and it's covered my face. You can just about see my eye through the text there. That text overlaps, so on and so forth. One thing you can do with the line is undo. If you move some by mistake, is to, if I double click on it, is to go to shape outline. You can obviously play with the weight of the line as well, so you can make it quite chunky and thick, kind of like paint, or you can make it quite light, like a pen or a pencil. I'm more happy with the pen or the pencil on that one. This one I've thickened it up a bit. You don't have to draw a random line, or you don't have to draw that much either. You could draw another line, or straight lines, or dotted lines, or you use some of the ideas that you've had in previous work. But obviously use these images as your main kind of inspiration, and pick elements from them so that your designs are different to mine. Here's some other versions that I've done. I've got different photographs. This is one of my my kind of pattern shape photographs of a kind of a light bulb, and this is one of my other photographs as well. And this obviously photograph was square, and I've just chopped it down so it's rectangular. I've cropped it. Oh, and the last kind of finishing touch to this would be a barcode. So you get yourself onto Google, find a barcode, one with a white background is probably better. Right click, copy that image, and then obviously paste picture into there. If it comes in pretty big, make it smaller, and then obviously you can use that. That usually goes into the bottom left or right hand corner. Okay, so that's the second part, and hopefully you should have you should be able to produce. I'll be looking for four different designs. You could try them with the same picture in the background, but I would like to see some other backgrounds as well. So let's actually say with six cover designs for your Raygun magazine cover.